Hey, thought you saw the last of me, huh? Yeah, well, this old fart is still kicking it. Okay, where am I? I've been keeping notes. I've been actually keeping a journal. And 30 days of old school is the title I give it, whatever. And then day 1, day 2, day 3, so forth and everything. I should be on day 20, but I got a little derailed a few days ago. So I'm actually on day 19. And yeah, if this thing, it's taking a long time to load. Okay, I don't know what's up with this thing. All right. Yeah, let me just get this out of the way in some kind of order, because... Alright. Okay, so right now, of course, I have no way of knowing this for sure. But the impression I'm getting, as far as streaming is concerned, this is again on Twitch. Now I know I mentioned that. I don't know how, if I got into, I didn't review the last video I uploaded. I have no idea where I left off. But as far as streaming is concerned, the impression I get at this point is that as long as you play decent music, yeah. First, you have to be able to moderate chat groups, okay? Now, this streaming thing, these people are not only engaged in old school RuneScape, but they're moderating the chat community at the same time. So I may be like partially dismissing what it takes to stream, but I'm not going to take anything away from these people. They are very talented, very skillful, all right? Because they are engaged in the old school RuneScape thing while they're moderating at the same time. And you know, they've got to ban people left and right, and it's just, you know, to keep everything from just disintegrating into a free-for-all. Because some of these people are something else. I mean, the things people are prepared to say is incredible, really unbelievable. So first and foremost, you have to, at least on some level, be able to moderate a chat group. Play decent music, because I've been, like, I've watched, there are a couple of streamers where I would be content to watch him all day, except the music he plays, I hate so much. I just can't. You know, I put up with it as long as, you know, when the other streamers that play better music once they go offline, and yeah, I'll take it for as long as I can, and then I've got to go and look for someone else. I can't, because it's, yeah, no. So first and foremost, be able to moderate to on a certain, you've got to keep some level of control, because these people are really, some people are really bizarre. So yeah, some level of control. Decent music, and well, that's the basics. But to keep them coming back, I would say giveaways. Because this RuneScape, this like online gaming thing, usually has some kind of economy that keeps the whole thing going. When I say economy, I'm not talking real money. I'm that too, obviously, but I'm just the game money. Old school uses gold pieces, GP. So every time you hear GP, they're talking about gold pieces. Um, if you're playing the game and you go to a shop or something, it refers to it as just as coins. But if it's like 40 coins, it's 40 GP. Gold pieces, coins, interchangeable, same thing. So, yeah, be able to moderate, play decent music, and to keep them coming back, giveaways. Just however you run that, whether you're a crafter or a PKer or whatever the heck it is, your theme or whatever. I'm not going to go into the ethics of online games or the themes they use or how creepy close they come to reflecting it, and they do, life. But anyway, whatever your theme is, all right. Still, you got to be able to moderate decent music and keep them coming back, giveaways. In old school RuneScape's case, gold pieces, right? So the mechanics of that, how they actually transfer gold pieces to their members, I don't know, since I'm still an observer. Okay, I'm still just, as far as that part's concerned. So yeah, what else did I put down here? Flare. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Free-to-play players do not have the option of having cute little outfits or flashy outfits or whatever. Okay, it's kind of armor, basically, meat and potatoes selection. So all I can suggest for free-to-play players, commonly referred to, at least when written out, as F2P, the letter F, the number 2, and then P, free-to-play. Okay. As opposed to members, which in old school RuneScape I think is $11 a month. Something. It's a subscription thing for members. And they get a lot of perks, of course. I mean, things to make it appealing to fork over the $11 a month. Yeah. So yeah. But again, times are hard. If you don't have an income, it's hard to justify paying any money just to play a game. So yeah. I ain't there yet, but I can see that. If I was generating an income, yeah, I'd be a member because, yeah, the perks are undeniable, okay? And since I'm engaged in this as much as I am, sure. $11 as far as form of entertainment is concerned, pretty cheap, at least when you have an income. So, yeah, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, okay? So, yeah. So yeah, as far as Flare is concerned, cute outfits are out for free to play players. The best you can do is pick interesting character attributes. When you're putting your character together, pick out something that'll stand out in a positive way, I suppose, right? Well, it depends on your target audience too. I don't know, but whatever. You don't have the option of getting cute little outfits. That's members only. Free-to-play players, we're down to meat and potatoes. The best you can do is put together a character with interesting attributes. That's it. I went pretty mundane because I wasn't thinking about all this other stuff down the road. There's no way you can anticipate the details because there are nothing but details. Massive. It continues. I mean, it seems to be infinite amount of details. So, yeah. Yeah, that's the streaming part. Again, the hardware parts of it, I did a little YouTube research a few days ago as far as seeing if I could stream on my mobile. Yes, is the answer. Did I get to the point where I was streaming? No, I haven't gotten there yet. Okay, I just wanted to know the answer to that. I think I thought I was getting close to that point. I'm not. I'm not. Right now, I've gotten into the basics of I'm just training how to fight, basically, at this point. I've gotten to the part where I build up my stats enough to have a more or less decent weapon, which at this point is a steel war hammer. And my armor is still made out of iron instead of steel, because I'm trying to keep it at defense level 1. Now the reason for that, the impression I'm getting as far as how they match up people or whatever is on their combat level. So apparently if you are, well, if your defense is 1, hopefully they're not gonna, someone that's like a defense level 50 can't fight you, or I don't know. See, I don't even know that. It's just the way they talk about it. That's the impression I got. So I've been very careful about building up my combat skills. All right, I left defense untouched. I haven't, so that's still at 1. At this point, what is my combat thing? My combat is, oh, my attack is 35. No, I think it's 36 now. I think it just got, hold on, I think I just leveled up earlier today. Yeah, 36. Why so low after 20 days, you might ask? Because my mining level is 58 and my smithing level is 50. And my fishing level is 57, and my cooking level is 51. Why are these so high? Because I wanted to be able to have decent weapons at my disposal. All right? And all those skills do not affect my combat level. So I can max out on all those other skills without it affecting who I get paired up with. Or even if that works that way, but since I don't know at this point, I'm kind of trying to play it safe until I find out more details. So I'm trying not to wreck my stats before I have some idea of what I'm dealing with. So yeah, anyway. Yeah, so I'm making all kinds of steel stuff now. I can make anything out of steel at this point. And my smithing level is high enough to be able to smelt mithril, which is the iron above steel. But I can't make anything but a dagger at this point out of that metal. So, yeah. Oh, and the cooking and the fishing thing, swordfish. For a free-to-play player, swordfish is the food item that restores your hit points better than any other food item. Okay? And you've got to be a very high level. Your level in fishing has to be pretty high. And in cooking to be able to catch and prepare and cook swordfish. So yeah, that's why the high levels on there. Right now I'm just focusing on my attack and hit point levels, and I'm doing that by training fighting my fighting things with the guards at Falador, because yeah, they're jerks. They like hassling people, and yeah, so it was an easy choice how to train in fighting. So yeah, I'm learning all about the fighting, eating aspects of being able to fight without dying, kind of thing. And yeah, that's another thing. All those highfalutin and if you can't tolerate trash talk, this is probably something you should stay away from, because like any other sports activity or competitive activity, I mean, there are basic mechanics to know, but after you get those down, it's all showmanship and trash talk. And all that flashy stuff going in between the food items and the potions and the runes and the prayers and this and that. Yeah. It's very impressive. It's very flashy. But it still doesn't get away from the basic mechanics of picking your fights well and not running out of food. And knowing when to run. And knowing when to run. Here's the kicker for you. If you suffer from the McFly syndrome, if you can't stand someone calling you a chicken, stay the heck away from online gaming. Alright? Because you're going to be dog meat. Alright? If you are stupid enough to let someone talk you into just standing there and dying, there's only one cure for stupid, okay? So by all means, just stand there, and that'll take care of that. Besides picking your fights, as far as not trying to pick the biggest and baddest character you can come on, and evenly, more or less even matched someone in your range, okay? Not running out of food, and knowing when the heck to turn around and run. If you can't master those those three up, don't even bother. Don't even bother. Because the rest of it is just trash talk and psyching out your opponent. And if you are stupid enough to let them talk you into just standing there and letting them kill you instead of getting the heck out of there. Because believe me, when they match up to someone they think they can win and they realize they can't and they turn around and run, that's a clever strategic retreat. Whereas if you're just chicken, right? You're just a punk. Okay, so it's, yeah. Oh, and the safer, or they even have a word with, oh, if you're that guy's a safer. Well, that's not fair. Safer means eating enough not to die. Okay? So, if you're not willing to pay chicken with your life points, you're safer. You're a punk, right? You're a chicken, right? Okay. If you can't take the McFly thing, just don't even bother, because you're nothing but dog meat. They're going to talk you into just standing there and dying. Yep. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. Okay. So yeah. Don't get me wrong, all those flashy little techniques of going back and forth, and I'm not saying that all those extra things don't give you some kind of, don't give you an edge, okay? Don't give you some advantage. But there's still, the basics are still not running out of food and knowing when to get the hell out of there. Everything else is show. All right? But it does take skill. Being so comfortable with the mechanics of it that you can just go back and forth. Because if you remember, you've got tons of inventory. If you're a free to play player, you only have 28 slots in your inventory. If you remember, you've got tons of it, and you can really make a whole show of going back and forth between this thing and that thing and whatever, and this combination and that, and it's all show. It's all show. Basically, don't run out of food, and no one to run the heck out of there. That's what it really comes down to. But it takes skill to do all that flashy stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't, because it's impressive, yeah. But it's BS. Okay, so yeah. It's like a street fight. It is like a street fight. Okay, you're just psyching out your opponent. That's once the basic mechanics are taken care of. So learn how to eat and fight, and learn how not to panic, which is trickier than you think, because something unexpected is always going to happen. Well, the more experience you get, the less that happens. But I mean, something always, it gets the adrenaline going. So it's I'm not saying it doesn't, but those are the basics: eating and fighting combination, and knowing when to run. That's what it comes down to. And not being George McFly. Okay. That's not his name. What is his name? George McFly is his father, right? Not being McFly, whatever. If you can't take being called a chicken, forget about it. All right. What else? All right. So streaming. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. No, I haven't uploaded the online gaming for non-gamers. When your titles don't sell, and you're doing stuff like citations, not fun. It's not a great motivating factor, especially when you're busy doing this other stuff. So it's that's gonna get done. The Nazi thing, that's dead. I can say I'm not even bothered with that. I'm not putting myself through that. There's no point. So yeah, that's dead. The other thing I'll get to once I get this other. You're sticking up. Once I finish with the bulk of the information with all this streaming stuff, and yeah, I'm sure there was other stuff I wanted to update on. Okay. As far as the different platforms, again, yeah, I'd still stick with Amazon because, let's face it, the exposure. Yeah. So I would take see, in my case, I can pick just about anything. I would take the thing I think will sell the least. If you're being censored, it doesn't matter, but whatever. The thing you think has the least marketability, you can go ahead and stick it in the select thing. So Amazon has exclusive rights on that thing, just to hopefully get a little bit more exposure. Otherwise, draft to digital. Draft it in every other way. The software they use, the promotions you can run anytime you want. It's just less of a hassle. It's just the easiest to. And the Kobo thing, that was a mistake. because you have to submit your work with the EPUB, and I don't see me ever bothering with learning code for EPUB formats, files. I don't see it ever happening. It's ridiculous. Especially when there's so much censorship going on and you really don't think any of your work is going to see the light of day anyway. So, why are you going to bother with it? So, yeah, you're kidding me, right? So, yeah, that was I should have stuck with Draft to Digital, because Kobo's on that thing too. Because now, if I put another title in the Kindle Select, I've got to go to every platform I submitted stuff to and make sure I delist it. Whereas if I had just stuck with Draft to Digital, that would have just been one platform, and delisting is very easy. And once the 90 days is, I'll make sure it's not automatically removed. Once the 90 days is up, you can put it back, you can submit it again. And they make it very easy and everything. And it doesn't, and you're not dealing with EPUB files. Because again, unless you know how to do the coding for those, it's going to be a mess. So, yeah. So I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and delist it from Kobo, get it back on the Draft to Digital, see what title. I'm probably going to put Monoglot on the Select thing on Kindle, or maybe I'll just leave the Kindle Select alone for now. Probably. And just have it run like that, just between Amazon and Draft to Digital, because I'm not going to get into EPUB coding or anything like that. Again, especially since if you're being censored, if you figure this thing's being censored, it's not going to matter anyway. That's a lot of work for nothing. So, yeah. And, yeah, still pay HIP. Still have the option of selling the stuff on your own. Absolutely. And, yeah. As far as I can see, that's the best approach. I don't know what the situation's going to be like a few months from now, but the way things are working, that's the only way I can see trying to manage it on any kind of reasonable level, because this is BS. I mean, this is ridiculous. And this is more than 28 minutes long. Okay, boys and girls, it is 12:29 p.m. afternoon, somewhere in Brooklyn, New York. Saturday. March 18th, 2023. As always, stay, wow, more than 20, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the clock. As always, try to stay safe, try to stay healthy, and, well, no guarantees about that. On some platform, I'll talk to you later. Take care.